Hi, and welcome to In the Front Row, all things news, reviews, and interviews. My name is Jamie Lee, and today I'll be doing a review of the new Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie that's just come out in cinemas. I was so lucky to go see this one at the cinemas because it was epic. I really enjoyed it, which I can't say the same for Doctor Strange 1 because I don't know, that was my first introduction to the character because I haven't read the comics, and I just found that one a little bit like slow, a little bit meh, a little bit boring. But at the same time, I can appreciate that that was an origin story, and it really did open my eyes to things like magic, sanctums, and time traveling, which was fairly new to the superhero movies that I was used to watching. So I went into this film with little expectations and I was pleasantly surprised. It was really different. It was fast paced. It was, lots of things going on, and I never felt bored watching this movie. To be fair, I know that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I know the character a bit more now after seeing him in Spider-Man and the Avengers. And if I'm being really honest, a big part of why I liked this movie was the fact that Wanda was in it quite a lot. Marvel fans seem to have a lot of respect for her after Endgame, but when she got her own series, there was so much disappointment with the character. And the one thing that I really did want from this movie was for her to get like her justice back as a character, or not even justice, like just to get that respect back that I feel like she deserved. I just love Wanda so much. She's had such a traumatic past with her parents dying, with her brother dying, and then having to literally kill the one person that she loved and who loved her back. It's just such a sad, heartbreaking story. And I feel like she's super relatable because she just wants what most women want, which is to have kids and to have a family and have a happy, simple life. And she can't have that, and she's not getting that. So it was nice to see that in this movie that she was still chasing that goal. They could have made her a villain in any other way, but she still was trying to get what she's always wanted, which is her boys. I think that's really nice and super relatable, even though it made her into a crazy ass villain. And my favorite line from her in this movie, or probably any Marvel movie actually, because it was the sweetest moment ever, was when Doctor Strange was saying to her, your kids aren't real, Wanda, you created them using magic. And she turned around and said, well, that's what all mothers do. And it just broke me. It was so sweet and so witty and perfect. I just loved it. Anyway, I was happy with the storyline, and I feel like all those haters from WandaVision would have been happy with the storyline as well, because when the Darkhold did take hold of Scarlet Witch, she was scary, she was confident, she was powerful, and we really got to see that darkness and that true potential of what her powers can actually do. And I don't think anybody would have been disappointed with that. And speaking of disappointment, I know that a lot of people weren't happy with America Chavez not getting much character development, but let's be honest, it's really hard to introduce a brand new character into a movie that's already got like two really big characters that we all know and that we all love. So I feel like the way that they included her was enough. They showed us a little snippet of her past, they showed us a little snippet of her power, and that was okay for me. Likewise with the cameos, people were not really happy about the little amount of people that were in it, or the amount of time that people were in it, or maybe even who was in it. But for me, it was enough. What am I talking about enough? I really like the cameos in this. I really like that they made Earth 838's variants of the superheroes that I know as the Illuminati. It just made me relate to the movie a little bit more because, just seeing something so simple like Captain Carter quoting Cap's iconic line of, I can do this all day. It was just so good. And then Professor X quoting his line from the X-Men movie, not quite sure which one it was, but when he said, those who stumble and lose their way are not lost forever. Like, come on. I mean, just so good. And I don't know, I found it a little bit funny, which is probably weird, that they died using their own abilities. You know what I mean? Like Reed Richards was like unraveled like spaghetti, and Cap was sliced in half using her own shield. And then the fork guy, I can't remember his name, but like he blew his own brains out with his own sound. I thought that was really funny and like really clever. I also love seeing the different variants of Doctor Strange in this. Benedict playing the sinister Strange and then the zombie Strange. It was really good because he's such a diverse actor, and we got to see, like different versions of him, and, got to really see his acting ability a little bit more in this. So I thought that was really good too. And I really did enjoy the zombie Strange, even though it was quite horror. Like when he had the demons and stuff trying to attack his body, that was very, Harry Potter, very Dementors. It was kind of creepy, but also I really, really enjoyed that side of it. It made it really interesting to watch, not just all, all this stuff with the hands and magic, magic, magic all the time. And speaking of that, I really like that in this we got to see Doctor Strange actually have a fist fight, not so much magic hands. It was, a proper fist fight. So it was good to know that he could, still throw down. I also like how they tapped into the incursions, like sometimes in superhero shows or movies, you hear about the consequences that could happen, or you hear about what would happen if, the enemy did this or the villain did this. But we actually got to see the impact of what happened from the incursions. So that was visually nice to look at as well. Speaking of visuals, my favorite scene in the whole thing was when Chavez and Doctor Strange were traveling through the different dimensions, and you had, like the paint and the cartoon and then the city and the dinosaur scene. It was really, really beautiful, that scene. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, overall, unexpectedly, I really enjoyed this film. Let me know in the comments if you did too, and what you thought of the cameos in this. I did want to see one person in this, and I'm not quite sure why they weren't, but I really wanted to see Vision, White Vision. And I'm not quite sure why when Wanda was dreaming, she was always dreaming of the kids, but why was Vision never in any of her dreams? I'm not quite sure about that, and I'd like to know. If you know the answer, please let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, please, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel and then head on over to my Instagram and give me a follow over there as well, please. Okay, that's my thoughts on that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.